Well, for many television viewers, myself included, the American drama series 6 Feet Under broke the barriers of excellence and lifted the art of writing for the small screen to new heights. It was the genius of series creator Alan Ball who first brought us the story of the dysfunctional Fisher family and their funeral home business, but it was brought to life by some extraordinary performances, none less so than that of Michael C. Hall as son David Fisher. Now he's embarked on another, even darker TV project. But how do you top something like 6 Feet Under? Well, Virginia Trioli put this and more to Michael C. Hall.
Michael C. Hall, welcome to Sunday Arts.
Thank you.
Were you sad to say goodbye to David Fisher from 6 Feet Under?
I was sad to a degree. I mean, I think 5 seasons was a good run, and all of us were ultimately thankful that we were ending on a bit of an upswing in terms of the storylines. And it was actually kind of a gift for us that Alan Ball wrote a final episode that allowed us all to simulate our deaths. It afforded us an opportunity to have an experience of closure that we probably wouldn't have otherwise had.
But it looked, of course, from the outside, the most demanding, emotionally grueling kind of show that you could commit to. Yeah,
it wasn't, you know, you weren't just punching the clock. You were sort of required from week to week and episode to episode and season to season to really, you know, simulate people going through some pretty murky things.
You've done a nice job. She looks so peaceful.
Well, she is at peace now.
If there's any justice in the universe, she's shoveling shit in hell.
We were at the point towards the end of the show where you could I actually had the experience of having real memories of things that had happened. You know, you didn't have to think it up for yourself. It was sort of all there for you.
Well, I understand actually that was a part, I think, initially of your hesitation about accepting the role of Dexter, because you, like many other actors working at that level, you take this stuff home with you. It's very hard to just shed the skin and go home.
Yeah, I knew making an open-ended commitment to, you know, breathing life into this sociopath would be, would take its toll to a degree. I also, having come off 5 seasons of 6 Feet Under, recognized how spoiled I'd been doing that, and didn't really envision myself doing another television series, at least not right away, because I didn't anticipate that I would, you know, find that lightning in a bottle kind of situation again.
What was that?
Yeah, there's no blood in or on or near the body at all. It's the weirdest thing you ever saw. Hey, Angel, let's show him.
No blood. No sticky, hot, messy, awful blood. No blood at all. Why hadn't I thought of that? No blood. What a beautiful idea.
What about the commitment to embodying a vigilante serial killer? Was there any hesitation there for you?
There was hesitation to a degree. There was also a good amount of excitement. It was a character that I never quite encountered before. I don't think Dexter himself defines himself as a vigilante, though you could certainly argue that the code he follows does allow him to fit that bill, objectively
You don't think he defines
speaking.
himself that way?
No, I don't. I mean, I think he recognizes that he's killing killers, but I think the fact that he's doing that has to do with something that's been cultivated in him by his foster father.
Well, I think the interesting part of the character also, as a viewer, is that there's no simplistic Jekyll and Hyde thing going on.
No.
It's the same person.
Right.
The same person at the office handing out the donuts is the same person who then dismembers someone who he thinks is scum and should be removed from the face of the earth.
Right. He refers to this energy or compulsion that overwhelms him or takes him over, but I didn't want to present a character who, you know, spun around 3 times and barked like a dog and then became some sort of other creature. It's him all the time.
I mentioned the violence before, and it's pretty extreme,
Right.
and it's I guess in that new and wonderful mode of very elegantly shot television with beautiful sound effects. It's very intense. If a cleaver cuts through flesh, now you hear it. You hear it in a way, even if you've never heard that happen in real life before. It's enormously confronting, and I find quite troubling at times. Do you find it difficult as an actor?
No, I don't. I mean, I feel like it's a very integral part of the story we're telling. A great deal of the violence is really suggested, I mean, I think there are plenty of setups, but ultimately there are blanks people fill in their own mind, and those are probably the most troubling images, the ones that you perhaps create in your own mind. People who watch the show, I think, very much enjoy the questions that they're inspired to ask and maybe can't quite come up with answers for. That's part of the appeal for me, was that it aspired to a moral ambiguity, you know.
I couldn't help myself. I couldn't. Please, you have to understand.
Trust me, I definitely understand. See, I can't help myself either. Children, I could never do that. Not like you. Never. Ever. Kids.
You come originally from the theatre. For someone who's clearly comfortable working in that field, and you come and go from it a great deal. Was the transition to television a delightful one? Was it difficult?
Well, for me it was nice. I think I had a unique opportunity in 6 Feet Under to play a character with such richness and such potential for development. And it felt quite natural to make that transition. Many of the people on that show had stage backgrounds as well. My hope has always been to work with talented collaborators on compelling material, whatever form, you know, and the pay cable television format is a place where a lot of that is happening now. And I think 6 Feet Under, Dexter, and shows like it give their audiences a great deal more credit than a lot of the network shows do.
Is there a very different discipline required from you as a working actor, working, say, 6 nights a week on the stage or on Broadway, versus the requirements of a weekly TV schedule?
Well, both are grueling in their way. I think with a stage play, of course, you're moving through the same material again and again, and after a point, it almost becomes a kind of a meditation to perform the role. But
you mean you go into a sort of an autopilot? Or?
I wouldn't want to call it autopilot, but you do get to the point where it is so ingrained, I mean, on a cellular level, that the job becomes at times to get out of your own way.
And on that point, I wonder then, when you prepared for and then did the role of the MC in Sam Mendes' revival of Cabaret, how do you keep, for example, Joel Grey out of your mind and out of your body? That astonishing performance, of course, that goes before you and everyone else who does the role.
Right.
Are you mindful of that, or do you just plough ahead?
No, I mean, the conception of that production in Sam's case was so radically different from anything the show had been in its movie form or its original stage form that I never saw, that really didn't come into play so much.
I know that I think you had a motto for yourself during that performance, though, of never hide.
Yeah, in fact, I've seen that co-opted. It's like on top of cabs. I don't know if it's a Ray-Ban ad or something, but it was an invitation to be comfortable in my skin in a way that maybe I'd never been required to explore before. I mean, I think there may well have been a degree to which I experienced an adversarial relationship to the audience up before Cabaret. There was a fourth wall, whereas when I played the MC, I had to walk out on stage. That fourth wall was shattered, and basically take as a given my love for the audience and their love for me, you know, and that was a really valuable thing to be required to do as an actor.
Did you enjoy the role?
Oh, yeah.
And do you sing much outside of theatre? Do you sing for pleasure?
I sing in the car.
Yeah, we all do that, but you actually can sing.
Yeah, I find myself working on it periodically. It's not something that I do regularly. I probably should, but I imagine I'll find myself singing again in some sort of professional capacity.
I feel like I want to say to you, stay safe, Michael Seymour, but nice to have you on Sunday Arts. Thanks so much.
Yes, thank you.